Welcome back to Hoochos. Today on Hoochos, I'm going to be releasing these. These are the Hooch multi-bucket extension collars. They are a 3D printable collar that fits directly over the top of the Hooch multi-bucket hydroponic system so that you can expand the capacity of your Hooch buckets from 3 litres to 6 litres, all the way up to a 10 litre capacity to give your plants more growing media so that you have more roots and more fruits. So we recently did some experiments with the Hooch pot, which is a auto refill saucer, self-watering pot system. And the volume capacity of those pots is about 9 litres. 8 litres once the anoxic zone is removed. And we had some really nice results with the root systems coming out of that sized pot. This got me thinking about making the Hooch multi-bucket a larger volume size. And without releasing an entire new injection mold, I thought maybe we could get away with extending our pot size with 3D printed additions. And that's where these come in. These 3D prints are specifically designed to press fit over the top of our multi-buckets accessory ports. So these will literally press over the top and into our buckets. And this actually allows us to grow in a very unique way that I'm going to demonstrate now. Okay, so here I have a chili plant that I've been raising in one of my Hooch multi-buckets. I've actually let this multi-bucket dry out so that I can demonstrate to you. So as you can see, the roots are pretty much extended to the edges of the multi-bucket. So even though we get really healthy plants out of these multi-buckets, because the roots are able to expand into the channels below, they have pretty much unlimited root space already. But the more roots, the better, right? So to expand on this space even more, chilies, tomatoes, and other fruiting plants all have the ability to throw roots from their stem. And a very common technique for tomato growers is to plant their tomatoes at the side of the pot and then lean them as they grow to get more roots across the pot itself. But with the extension collars, what we can do is once we get to a plant this size, we can remove any growth that is below the height of our extension collar. We can add our extension collar straight over the top of the plant, like so, and we can fill in around this plant. And what that means is, as well as being a new style of growing, it means it's retrofittable to plants that you can place this collar over the top of if you want to expand the area of their roots. And all of these pots work within the 300mm capillary action window. So capillary action is essentially the wicking action that works up to 300mm where I've marked here on the ruler. And we are within 300mm of the gutter, which means that all of this pot can be used and only the top inch of this pot is above the gutter's wicking capacity, which is good because it means that it reduces the evaporation on the top of our maxed out Hooch multi-bucket collar. Okay, so for the print settings, I'm going to have a full Patreon post publicly available so that you can check out the print settings and the guide on how to print without the exclusion zone. These will print on a 256 by 256 bed. However, they do not work within the Bamboo Labs exclusion zone for the cutter that cuts the filament. So you just have to disable the exclusion zone to print these prints. There will, however, be that full post available publicly on my Patreon so that you can check that out. The prints are obviously available on my Patreon, and the buckets are available on hydroland.com.au and the Hydroland Amazon, which I will soon be switching over to collaborating with a distribution company in America who will take over both the multi-buckets as well as all of the Hydroland gear that has been available in Australia to the US and I think Canada. So keep an eye out for that video, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hoochos. Happy hydroponicking, and I will see you next time on Hoochos.